as an operator, like you actually might be the best person to be at the top of your marketing department, because an operator looks out for everybody. And so I think that's where the collaboration between Tom and I comes in at, is like he thinks about everything and he's thinking about execution, and then I come in with like this creative brain, and it's like a great partnership, and that's how we make things come to life. It's a collaboration between operations and marketing. If you don't have that, you really can't bring anything to life.
You're listening to Stories from the Top, an inside guide to better business development. All right, so we're back with Tom and Morgan from Spread Bagelry. Thank you guys again. Real quick, why don't you give us just a quick intro to yourselves again, for people who might have missed our last episode.
Sure thing. Tom Selementi, CEO at Spread Bagelry. Spread Bagelry is home of wood-fired bagels here in the Northeast Philadelphia area, also in the Southeast, in the Savannah and Charleston area. And we're the home of the Standard, which is the best bacon, egg, and cheese in the business.
And I'm Morgan Mullen, and this microphone keeps hitting me. I'm the director of marketing for Spread Bagelry, and the growth of the brand really excites me, and I am just like really honored to be able to drive that growth into the Philly area and down south.
Excellent. Well, yeah, in this episode, we're going to talk about marketing and branding. And I guess to start with, let's kind of establish Spread's brand. It was almost kind of hippie-ish, the sun logo. And why don't you explain what the brand is and what you guys are doing with it right now?
Yeah, so I do like the sun, and it was very hippie-ish. We rebranded last year, and we kind of toned down the blues. We established icon typography, and which is really great, especially if you want to identify a brand. But when I came in 3 months ago, I do love the brand standards, but I realized that if you want people to lean into your brand, you kind of have to lean into it yourself. And that's pushing wood fired. That's pushing all of the textures that are in our store. So like the marble and the wood. And that's who I think we actually really are. So it's in combination with each other.
Yeah, and I'd say like to that point, which is, very well put, we're the elevated bagel shop, right? So like anything we do has to represent that. And when you come into our restaurants, like that's what you want to feel, right? So bagel shops that I grew up in New Jersey, like it's very much just a counter, a bunch of baskets of bagels,
yeah.
And then the oven is in the background and everybody's dirty and has flour all over them. And that's great, and that's okay, and that's authentic, and that's that owner-operator mentality. But we are a brand, and they're wood-fired bagels, which nobody else is doing. So we expect the experience to kind of match that, and that's what we're doing with the brand now.
Yeah.
So your experience is part of your brand. So that's everything from your digital assets to the flooring in your department. How many different things does your brand touch? Like, would you say are all included in the brand experience?
So I always say that there's 4 content pillars that I like to focus on, and that's lifestyle. So coming to our stores is a luxury. You want this routine in your life. It's very nice. You can sit down, you can do computer work. So it's lifestyle. And then it's food. We have a really, really great product. Like we have the best bacon, egg, and cheese in the industry, like Tom said. And then it's people. So if you don't have people in your brand, then no one really knows who you are. You're just another picture of a bagel, and that's, you can't identify a brand like that. And then the 4th one is, of course, what makes your brand proprietary, and that's wood-fired. So it's wood-fired, people, product, lifestyle.
Interesting. So, yeah, with the brand identity, you guys said you kind of did a little bit of rebranding, but how do you balance that line between hippie and luxury? That's kind of like a unique combo.
Yeah, look, I enjoy that combo. I lean into that. I'm an ex-hippie. Right, so I saw the Dead when Jerry was still alive, and followed Fish around for years and did all those things. The hippies now are from my era are now running the show, and they have money, it's different now, right? So we're leaning into that, right? Hippies have good taste. right? That's that we like to put it, certainly as being an ex-hippie. If you're a fan of the Dead, you're a fan of Fist. There's nothing better than that, right? Those jam bands and what they bring to the table. And if you're a fan of bagels, then we are the best as well.
Yeah.
Right. So like we're leaning into that good taste. It's also in a lot of cases a highly educated community. We have a lot of folks that are ex-Ivy League and stuff that oh yeah, I followed Fish, I followed the Dead, and what you see now is I think the Eagles said it in one of their songs. I was down the road today. There's a Deadhead sticker on a Cadillac, right? And that's all it is now, right? Those Deadhead stickers are on the nicest cars, and it's cool, right? The design of that stuff is very cool. The Spread Man is a very cool image.
Yeah,
Our juice line is going to lean into it. So there's a lot of cool little like nods to the hippie community, though it's not like our brand in the front. It does sit there in the rear a little bit.
Yeah, and I think for food, like you can't really take your brand too seriously. Like we want to obviously have fun with it, and that's where that comes in at too.
And yeah, on that vein, what do you guys do? I know your execution's kind of your main thing to stand out from competitors, but in the marketing world, you still have to market and put yourselves out there. What do you guys do to stand out and kind of have your own voice in marketing for their different restaurants?
All right, this is kind of off topic, but I recently heard of the COO turned CMO, and I was like, that's really interesting because I think an operator's mind is so different from a marketer's mind. But then it started to make sense to me because as an operator, like you actually might be the best person to be at the top of your marketing department because an operator looks out for everybody. And so I think that's where the collaboration between Tom and I comes in at, is like he thinks about everything and he's thinking about execution, and then I come in with like this creative brain, and it's like a great partnership, and that's how we make things come to life. It's a collaboration between operations and marketing. If you don't have that, you really can't bring anything to life.
Yeah, and also I'm of the mindset, like in restaurants, if you can think it, you can do it, right? And that is part of that like OTG airport background a little bit, where like, yeah, if you can think about it getting done, it can be done. It's just a matter of how, right? And that certainly helps Morgan stay as creative as possible, because if we can do it, we'll figure out how to do it, unless it's just going to break the system. There's still ways to do it, right? So, and then sometimes you just have to chip away at that one idea to get it to the right place.
So what would you say are some of your current biggest marketing challenges that you're facing right now?
For me, like we always want to expand our reach, right? And we don't have a lot to tell us if we're doing really well in that right now, right? So like I think a lot of folks will say, oh, I did this and it went viral. I did this and we got a lot of views, or we improved our follower count. But I don't really think that tells you much. And where I want to move to is, we did this. How many people came in and transacted? Of those people that transacted, how many times did they repeat, right? After how many visits do they start to fall off, right? So I'd say that level of analytics around our initiatives is one of our bigger blind spots that we're aware of, and we're going to work towards.
You guys have
the official data. Yeah,
I was going to say, do you guys have that data capture of repeated customer transactions?
Look, with AI, it's all there, right?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, do you pull the right levers to make that, the first thing you talk about, right? And we're still in the phase of, why don't we try to, and if we can do that in 5 minutes, why don't we try to get it done in 4 minutes, right? Because we're still saying that there's a lot more upside to gain from that. But of that other contingent that I just spoke about, where it's just like analyzing what's coming in and how we're converting and things like that, there's a lot of upside there too, but probably more upside once we're scaled. And that's probably a big opportunity for us as marketing. It'd be a lot easier for Morgan to do her job if there were 100 spreads.
Right.
It's actually easier, right? It's actually harder to market a company with 17 locations in 2 different regions.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's a very hard job,
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Do you use any difference in the way you communicate with people up here versus down in Georgia? Because we were talking about that before the show. It's very different cultures. Takes so long to get food at anywhere down there.
Yeah.
Up here, it's see ya.
Well, we recently optimized our menu across the system to have just a standard menu. We did have some menu items that were specific to the South. So was pimento grilled cheese, right? Pimento spread.
We added some things that were very regional, in order to ensure that we were speaking to that community. But what we decided recently is that doesn't really matter so much.
Yeah.
We're going to present Spread as Spread Bagelry, and we're going to educate the guest in the Southeast as to why they need it in their lives, and more often, and why our bagel is the best breakfast you can have, right? So there's not a million bagel concepts down there as there are up here. So it's a little different type of marketing mindset where you have to tell people what the bagel is and why ours is different. Up here, someone tries our bagel, they're like, oh yeah, that is a better bagel. So our job's a little easier up here. Again, a little harder down there. That's with scale, and that's with people knowing what bagel are versus...
Speaking of consumer education, what is your guys' strategy for that with the new people, or even around here, people who, okay, another bagel place, cool, I've got 10. What's the difference?
And I think that starts in store, which we're currently working on doing more brand identifiers of being wood-fired bagels. So it's a work in progress, but it's in progress.
That's right, though. Like, you have to do it in store, right? If someone's not going to come in, it's very hard to convince them to come in. But once they're in, you can control the messaging. You definitely can. You can do a lot of different things to tell them why they made the right choice. You can also do a lot of things to tell them why they made the wrong choice, right? So at Spread, we want to make sure once we get them in that we hold on to them, right? And that's by saying hello as soon as they walk in, by showing them photos of, bagels coming out of an oven being, hand rolled, showing them a photo of our first location in Rittenhouse Square and how authentic that is. And they're like, oh, this guy's at Spread Bagelry. They know what they're doing here. And then, oh, there's that wood-fired oven I heard so much about, and there's bagels coming out of it hot.
Yeah.
And then we got you,
Yeah, so what's the pitch for the wood-fired component of the bagel making process?
Yeah, so a wood-fired bagel is going to have a slightly crunchy exterior, right? But be very chewy on the inside, and that's like a true bagel. So like what even a New York style bagel will have a similar type of exterior interior, right? So you want to be able to go like this to a bagel and it makes a noise with a pen or with a knife, right? So if you just you do that and then it lands like on my skin where it's not really making a noise, that's like a piece of bread, right? So that's the difference, right? So a lot of the bagels at scale, they turn into bread because they've cut pieces of the process out, and we're not doing that, right? Like, we're maintaining integrity of the process at Spread. So they come in, we thaw, then we slack, then we proof the bagel, then it gets boiled in water that has honey in the water to create a little bit of sweetness in the chew when you bite into it, and then it's finished off in the wood-fired oven.
You guys do like the live process or just the water?
No, we just do boil and then bake. I don't know what you mean by your process.
Usually there's like a little bit of lye in the water to like help it form its crust, but you guys just...
Oh, no, it'll sit in there, yes, for about a minute and a half or so. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
It's all done in store, each location right there, so you're not just getting pallets of bagels.
Is there ever like a capacity issue? Like, say you guys were getting slammed one day, does the wood oven limit manufacturing abilities for the
wood
bagels?
oven is very big, right? And when you are extremely strategic about it, it is very few scenarios where you wouldn't be able to keep up, right? So the bagel oven that I grew up on has 5 tiers and they move around, and that's in most bagel shops. This fits almost the same amount. It's just on one wider surface. So it just requires somebody very skilled to kind of move them around and get them in and out quickly.
So it sounds like the main marketing push is like people taste your bagels and the product is so superior that they're going to tell their friends about it.
Yeah.
Is that right? Do you have any other incentives that you use to like get people to give referrals or anything like that? Or is it mostly just like when they taste it, it's so good they want to tell their friends?
We're really big on partnerships and grassroots marketing. So getting in the community and partnering up with small businesses or local organizations and doing in-kind donations for their events and providing them with bagels, I think is the best form of marketing, is word of mouth marketing. But that's also like get the product in their hands.
Like a free sample kind
Exactly.
of.
Yeah. So we do a lot of that.
The bagel shop is a part of the community, right? So, and again, how I grew up, right? Everybody knew the bagel shop. It was a place where like you go to gather, right? And we have to be part of every community we're in. Otherwise, it's not going to work. We can't just pop in somewhere and we're Spread Bagelry. Come to us because we're a brand and everybody knows us as wood fired and the best bacon, egg, and cheese. And we got to have the same rollout plan where we go meet people in the community. We invite them in. We do an event where maybe, yes, we are giving things away. We reach out to the schools and provide the teachers lounge with bagels on Friday. We'll do that for a local hospital. We'll do it for car dealerships, all of those things, because why not? You know?
Yeah.
If they don't come back, the worst thing they're going to say is, man, that was a really good free bagel.
Yeah.
And who do you guys view as your competitors? Since you have like the internet and the kind of nice environment, are you kind of competing with Starbucks and other coffee shops, or what's your thoughts on that?
No, our competition is for bagel or for breakfast, right? Starbucks is not a competitor, and we're in a lot of centers where they're in the center with us. We're in a lot of centers where First Watch or what is that? Turning Point is in the center with us. La Colombe can be in the center with us. That's fine. If a bagel shop comes in, then yes, we're could be competing for the same thing, which is a breakfast sandwich or a bunch of bagels to bring home to your house. So right now there's a few competitors that are popping up, and more so than there ever have been in the bagel world, that's for sure. It's kind of like having a bit of a moment right now, even though Spread has been around since 2010. A lot of competitors have popped up in the last couple of years, right? And they are trying to grow as quickly as possible in order to, corner the market. That's not what we're doing. Right? Because if we go and we maintain the same steady, slow growth and we go into a community and we go win that community, then it doesn't matter if a competitor comes in because we will have already won. Right? But if someone's there, I'm just not going to go in across the street. I don't have that type of,
leverage.
Yeah, or I don't have the bravado to do that. I wouldn't want to do that, because a bagel shop can survive in basically any suburb, right? At any town center, any strip mall. Like, you can have a bagel shop. We don't have to do, $10 million in every location like a Cheesecake Factory does. We can just go and we can just go win the morning. We can go win on the weekend, right? And then on the holiday when you're getting bagels for your family, we can go win that day. And now we've set up shop and we're good, and that's what we're trying to do with Spread, one community at a time. Make the right choices about which communities to go in and grow this thing steadily and properly.
Yeah, and just to kind of close out our marketing discussion, do you guys have like your one best tip for marketing in the restaurant space, I'd say specifically in breakfast type of food?
I just think in general, like for me, I have to really integrate myself and become the brand in order for me to do the best job possible. So I really identify myself with Spread Bagelry, and you can ask any of my friends or family, like they call me the queen of bagels now. So that's honestly the best strategy that I have, is to immerse yourself in what you're doing, really lean into it, and you will be successful. As
a marketing person, that's exactly right. And that's why Morgan's been so successful in such a short period of time here, because she is the brand so quickly. What we like to say, what I have said for years at breakfast, is speed is hospitality, right? So everything is about getting the product into people's hands as quickly as possible. For breakfast, people have a finite amount of time. For lunch, people have a finite amount of time. The only day part where people don't care so much about speed is dinner. At breakfast, if you go to a diner and you order your food and it comes out in a minute and a half, what are you going to say?
That was really quick.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna say thank you. You're going to say, damn, that was fast.
Yeah.
You're not going to say, send it back. I'm trying to slow down,
Yeah.
man. Like, I want to enjoy my breakfast. No, you want to enjoy it the second you order it.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody has the same mindset. The world is only getting crazier, faster.
You're
Our
right.
days are getting more, packed with whatever crap is going on in our life. The breakfast stop has to get faster and faster and faster. And we're going to make sure that we do that at Spread. Lunch stop, it's the same thing. If you got 30 minutes, people get 30-minute lunch breaks, right?
Yeah.
If you got to wait 15 minutes, I went to... I don't care. I'm going to call them out. I went to Honey Grow the other day. I like Honey Grow. I enjoy their food. I ordered. It took 20 minutes for my noodle bowl at lunch. I'm like, guys,
Lunch is
I gotta
over.
get back to work here. And I'm
Yeah.
a CEO, so like I can push my meetings, but why do I want to do that? Just to enjoy my lunch. When I order it, I want it, regardless. And breakfast and lunch. Speed is hospitality.
Yeah, it really does play a big factor, even if it was amazing food, but it took a long time. It's just this bad taste to the whole experience that carries with you. So I think that's a great tip.
Yeah, that's what we said first, right?
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, I love spread bagels." It just takes a little too long. We're solving that one person at a time.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys. We've got one more episode coming up. We'll dive a little more into some operational stuff, so we'll stay tuned.
Thank you.
Stories from the Top is your guide to successful business development. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts or find Edge of Cinema on YouTube. Stories from the Top is an Edge of Cinema production, hosted by Matthew Skura and Jeremy Schmidt. To learn more or get in touch, visit edgeofcinema.com/podcast.